Welcome to More Than Renovating, a renovate and real estate podcast. Our founder, Belinda Smith, talks to industry experts to provide you with the knowledge and information you need to make renovating for love and profit your reality. Belinda will also chat to some of her Renovation Mastery members, who are just everyday people doing extraordinary things, following their passions in the renovation and property space. So, let's jump straight into the episode. Enjoy.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Belinda Smith from Renovate and Real Estate, and on today's podcast, which is also published on YouTube, with me is special guest Cel McCuskey, and Cel is the co-founder, or the founder, the inventor, the founder, the everything, the owner of tileeasy.com.au. Today, we're going to talk about his tiling system, but we're also going to find out a little bit about Cel and how he began with the business and what brought him to introduce these products to market. So, hello, Cel. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, Belinda. Hi. Thank you for having me on.
That's all right. Look, I don't usually promote like a particular product, but I know that you and I have been in contact for some time because you're building this business and you've started it from scratch, which I just find is really commendable, first of all. And second of all, I just watch the amount of energy that you're putting into this with consistency. And I see the value in the product itself, particularly with DIYers in mind. So, like I know that it's great to go and get things done, but we were just discussing before, the labour costs associated with building right now have gone up a lot. And if there's any product that someone can DIY themselves and they stand a fair chance of having the outlook or the outcome really good, then it's something that I'm very, very excited to bring to the notice of everybody out there who loves to DIY. So let's talk about, first of all, how did you end up starting this business, Tile Easy? And we'll talk about your product in a moment.
Okay. Well, I've been in the flooring industry somewhat 40 years, Belinda. I started off as an apprentice, carpets and vinyls and all the flooring products. But it was about 4 years ago, prior to COVID, that I identified a product in the US, and it was a floating ceramic tile system. And I thought, wow, this has got potential. So I done some investigating about it, and which I was glad I did, because what I found is there has been a number of floating ceramic tile systems on the market over the past 10 years or longer. And unfortunately, all of them has failed, right?
Yeah.
And these all were established in the US. So with my investigation, I thought, wow, this is a good system. However, as I said, in my research said everyone has failed. Now, when I saw this product that in America that appealed to me, it had a brilliant clicking system, and which I thought was very user friendly, and their product didn't perform. When I got the product and I dropped a cup on it or I dropped a knife on it, the tile cracked.
Yeah, so there's no point, right?
From a consumer's point of view, that was just not acceptable. And
agree.
Funny enough, the Americans told me, but all tiles crack. And I said, well, I don't think so. But I still believed that there was potential. So I suppose I was lucky enough to be able to investigate why all the others failed, right?
Yeah.
I investigated them and seen the product, and I was able to determine why they failed, which was a huge bonus for me, right?
Yeah.
And there was lots of little things, but fundamentally, they all failed because they did not reinforce the tile correctly. Okay, you cannot put a tile on a floor without either gluing it to the concrete or reinforcing it in some way or another, right?
It has to be fully supported. Otherwise,
and because we only use porcelain, and porcelain is the best flooring in the world.
Yeah,
but it is brittle, right? And hence why the traditional way is to glue it down, right? So But I thought, no, hold on a second. I mean, I look into this. So, 2 years prior to COVID, I started doing testing and I thought, how can I replicate 100 mil of concrete into a reinforced tile, right?
Yeah.
Because tiles are stuck to a concrete floor, 100 mil thick.
Yeah.
So thousands and thousands of tiles broken. I eventually found a product that reinforced the tile to a level that I was accepted, right? Now, I think I shared with you before that my scale of 0 to 10 was that if 0 was the tile put on the floor without sticking a dowel, it would crack immediately. And if
Yeah.
10 was the tile stuck to the floor correctly, that is the best. There's no question about that. But I
Yeah.
thought if I could get to a scale that was acceptable, that you could drop something on the tile and it wouldn't crack or break the tile, I
Yeah.
feel I would have achieved my what I wanted to achieve. So I believe now I've got it to about a 7. I
Beautiful. And
can I can get a hammer, and I can drop the hammer on the tile from table height, because
yeah.
normally things roll off tables or benches or whatever they can roll on. So I can drop a hammer from table height and it will not crack the tile. And I thought
Okay.
that was my benchmark.
So your aim really was to create a system where the tiles came with their own installation
Reinforcement
mechanism,
sheet,
that
correct.
came with their own reinforcement sheet.
Yeah.
So people like me
Yep.
could make on an even floor. So guys, just letting you know that you have to screed the floor. The floor has to be even, the same as it has to be for many of the wood look floor products.
Absolutely, yes.
So no different. Has to be on a really nice level floor. But essentially someone like me could buy the tile attached to this mechanism, this
interlocking system, yeah.
Thank you. The interlocking system, and put it down on the ground as if we were a tiler. No glue necessary. You just put it on the ground and you knock it into place, similar to what you do with a vinyl plank or a hybrid flooring. You kind of just push it into place and make sure it's all even, and then you apply this grout look product, which effectively looks like grout, but it rolls out and you tuck it in the gaps. And essentially you've got yourself a tiled floor, and it's something that, you can do without mixing cement, without the mess, without, too much time. It's actually a great product. Do people cut the tiles the same as they would if they were laying a tile on
yes,
a
well,
bed of cement?
they'd have to use a small angle grinder with a small diamond blade, right?
Okay,
so
got it.
Or they can use a small wet saw. So yeah, it's just getting back over. Yeah, they just put it on the floor. They have a rubber mallet and they just tap it in and they keep interlocking it, a bit like a jigsaw.
Yeah.
A bit like a jigsaw, keep knocking in. One of the advantages, Belinda, of the Tile Easy system over your standard hybrid flooring, anybody who's laid hybrid flooring knows that once you get it in place, it's very difficult to get out again without breaking that little interlocking knob, because it's a brittle material.
Yeah.
Well, with the Tile Easy product, they don't worry. You can interlock it, pull it out, interlock it as many times as you want, because the little tabs are very, very strong.
Does that mean that if something terrible were to happen and by chance a tile were to be chipped or broken, you could just remove that one tile and pop a new one in its place?
Absolutely. That's probably one of the highlight advantages, Belinda. Most people, funny enough, aren't afraid of cracking a tile. They're more afraid of chipping a porcelain tile. And
Yeah.
they know then that if they chip it, the hassle that comes with trying to get that tile out without breaking the next one, right?
Yeah.
Out. Well, with the Tile Easy system, right? 20 minutes out and in with a new one. Okay,
Yeah.
you cut the grout out with a Stanley knife, remove it, cut the tabs of 3 sides, lift the tile out, put the new one in, and within a half an hour, you would not know that the tile had been replaced.
So you've been researching and developing this for how many years now?
4 years.
4 years.
The interlocking system, and I'll just correct you a little bit, as in,
Yeah.
I didn't invent the product as per se, because the Americans have that crown on the head of the interlocking system.
We'll take it. We're Aussies.
Yeah.
You're a go. We'll say reinvented it. And
Yes, yeah. Well,
it.
I've taken over. Funny enough, the company that I first seen with this product, they then went into liquidation, right?
Yeah.
And again, the reason why is the product didn't perform. So
so you've improved it.
When I show the videos to the Americans now of what I'm doing, they're absolutely astounded about what I've been able to achieve with it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
So,
just being devoted to the cause and spending extra time and keeping on working on its weaknesses. And
yes, that's right. And it's been a long road, a hard road, and still yet, with the benefit of Google and that, there's a lot of bad history out there about floating ceramic tile floors. It's all 10 years old, but people can see that. But if they get on my website and have a look at the impact videos where they can see me dropping the hammer, they can see me dropping a bottle of wine, all things that happen in a household, right?
Yeah.
And the tile doesn't crack. I've even put it in a garage where you can drive over it. Right.
Yes.
So the product is right now for the consumer, and it's achieving a standard that I believe is more than acceptable for a floating floor.
Yeah, me too. But to have something on your garage floor like that is just, oh my goodness, if you're in a high-end area, capital city, and you wanted to make people impressed, having a tiled look floor is very, very impressive. Takes you home.
And one of those things too for the people who are concerned for the environment. Again, I think I shared this with you. I mean, the Tile Easy floor is the only ceramic tile flooring that has got a resale value.
Yeah.
Okay. In 10 years' time, not because the porcelain's going to wear out, you're going to be sick of the color, maybe, right?
Yeah.
You can lift it, put it on Facebook, and sell it.
And so could you effectively pick a new tile and put it in its place?
No. The system
it's one
comes.
system?
The system comes all laminated together. Maybe I should share that with your members. The product is of 3 elements, Belinda: a porcelain tile, a reinforced sheet, and an interlocking plastic tray. And those 3 elements are all laminated together. So when it arrives at your house, it comes in a box. You just take it out of the box and click it together.
Right.
Just as simple as that.
Yep. So you can't actually interchange the tiles. You've got to interchange the system.
No. Well, you mean the tiles are laminated. It has to be glued together to give it that strength.
And your selection now, tile selection, I looked on your website, guys, tileeasy.com.au. There's about 12 colour choices there at the moment. Your standard, most popular colours from dark grey to the neutrals, beiges and grey beiges.
Yeah, 3 mid greys and 7 neutrals. They will change over time as new fashion home, but we started off with those, Belinda, because people renovating, most of the tiles look to be neutral in color because it's easy to decorate against. But if one of your members had a specific tile that they wanted to use, they could send their tile to us. We'd put the system on it and send it back to them.
Okay, so that is possible.
Yeah.
And just to let everyone know that Cel is getting his tiles from one of Australia's leading tile companies. So we're not talking some little obscure tile company with no popular choice, a very, very popular tile company. So the other thing is, let's talk about, are we allowed to talk about the cost of this product? Because I can let you guys know, just, because I'm currently renovating here in Sydney. The cost of my product is, my tiles are anywhere between 55 and I've got some expensive tiles, don't tell my husband. But okay, my floor tiles are between 55 and say $90 per square metre throughout the home. So what is your system coming in at?
Well, we use a good quality porcelain tile, right?
Yep.
A good thing, and 300 by 600 or 600 by 600.
Yeah.
We feel it's going to retail, the product going to retail between $85 to $95 a square meter, right?
Right. Perfect. And then
So, yep.
people can install that themselves or go to
And the people
handyman
can
to
install that,
it.
and
Right.
that should save them a minimum of
Thousands.
$30 to $40 a square meter. So
Yeah,
it soon adds up. And the good thing about it is, and they don't need to panic, they can start it one day, right? If they don't get it finished, they don't have to leave their home. They can continue to walk on it, right? Because there's no downtime, right?
Yeah.
There's no limited time where, we're out of our kitchen for a week or something like that. No, they can lay 2 tiles per day. They can lay 100 tiles per day. They can walk on it immediately. So there's no downtime or inconvenience.
Yeah, agree. I think it's a really good idea, and it's just something brought to market that the market's really needing right now. So there's the labor cost can be negligible if it's you. The reusability, you can in effect reuse the tiles because the tiles aren't damaged by laying them down. It's not like when you lay a tile on a bed of sand and cement or glue it to the floor, where the only way of getting that tile up really is to break it.
Yeah.
So you can reuse the tiles if you want. If for commercial properties, I think this is ideal. Like if I owned a fish and chip shop, I'd be putting these in a heartbeat, or somewhere where you get lots of foot traffic and you need the benefits of a porcelain tile. But if something were to get worn out or damaged, you can replace one or two. I think that's perfect. Sustainability, just because you can reuse. Explain the sustainability aspect of your product.
Well, there's a couple of mindful things. Is one, for those people who are looking at high-rise apartments, it achieves a 6-star rating of the AAAC noise pollution. So it's the highest you can get. So that's one thing. Another big thing, Belinda, that a lot of people is critical of ceramic tiles on concrete floor is they're very cold, right? And concrete is a great conductor of anything, right?
Yeah.
The Tile Easy product is warmer simply because it's sitting off the concrete. So it's not attracting that, it's not sucking that cold out of the concrete into the tile. So it's warmer on the foot, which is then energy saving. It's energy saving. So those two are very, very important points, particularly, as I say, in the high rise. Most high rise apartments now won't allow ceramic on their floors, or you have to put in thousands and thousands of dollars worth of soundproofing underneath the floor. Well, with their product, you don't need that. 6-star rating, absolutely brilliant, and then it's warmer on the foot as well. So from going to the next step, indirectly, there's if you want to replace ceramic tiles, all that waste, all that rubble goes to landfill. Okay.
True.
With their product, there is an extended life with it. You mean because I've never seen a porcelain tile wear out, Belinda. Have you? Never seen a porcelain.
Well, I've seen tiles wear out in shops, but they're obviously not porcelain.
No, that's the old ceramics. But in that particular shop, if it's worn out, we can go straight over the top.
Straight over the top. Right. All right. So I'm just going to bring you back a little bit to units. Units, for everybody who's renovated a unit or anything in a strata complex, the hardest thing to do is replace little bits like things on balconies and not have to go through strata. So with this, and also you want to be able to change up the look of a unit, and it's very, very difficult if you've got a tiled balcony and the tiles are really dated. Whereas this, you can just pop straight over the top. You're not going to get in trouble in relation to the noise. It's in effect a removable product, so somebody's not going to go. If someone did go mad on you for something, you just pull it up and reuse it somewhere else. It just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and we've got that noise pollution report, which is a proper tested, so they can show that to the strata manager, and that'll tick all the boxes.
Beautiful. Okay, so how deep is this tile? Deep? What's the word? Okay, how thick?
How thick?
How thick is
it? How thick? In most cases, a standard tile in that it ends up around about 14 mil.
Yeah.
right? About 14 mil overall, right?
Right. So you've got to allow that for that, guys, underneath your door.
That's
your
right,
doors
yeah. And most good laminates now and stuff are around about the 12 mil or more. So it's only a couple of mil more. But again, it depends on the porcelain tile that we purchase.
Yeah.
Most of them come in around 8 mil to 10 mil, and then by the time we put things on it, so it works out about 14 mil, but it can vary a little bit from time to time.
Excellent. Out of your customers, what job was one that you really liked? What was a really
good question? We've just finished one here in Bass Hill, where the people have moved away and they want to resell it. They've done a big renovation, but one of the things, they had a timber floor, that carpet down and a timber floor, and they didn't want to put carpet down again. They wanted to modernize it. They said, "Oh, we want to go for ceramic tiles, but it's too costly. We have to put down, 10 mil cement sheet and this, that, and the other." And the builder got in contact with me, and we were able to put the Tile Easy system completely through lounge room, dining room, bedrooms, passage. We're now even going out into the alfresco area out the back. So that was a huge savings for these people, because they've got a 600 by 600 porcelain tile. They've made the house really modern, right? And they're able to sell it with porcelain tile floor, which is regarded as the best. So that to do a job like that and see we're just finishing it off is nice to see. Particularly they've done it all. They've done everything, and that's come up really smashing. We've got a couple of videos on the website. We've done an outdoor. I can see the product very strong on outdoor alfresco areas.
Yeah, me too.
Right? And where a lot of people has got existing either old pavers down or old tiles or something like that there, providing that surface is level, you can go straight over the top, and it'll be fully waterproof, and it can make an outside alfresco area, bring it forward from the 60s into the noughties, and it looks fantastic. Particularly with the 600 by 600 tiles that you can get now. So really, really, really nice. It gives a real modern look to the alfresco area. So so there's a few jobs we've done, but we done a little shop over in Kirrawee, a little takeaway shop with a granity looking tile. So that it's only a small job, only 20-30 square meters, but it looked nice when it was finished. And the bloke, there was no downtime. As soon as the tiles were laid, the shop fitter could come in and put it on top, and there was just no downtime for anybody.
I agree. So even when you're talking about tiles and grout in the traditional way, it's lay the tiles down one day, come down and do the grout the next day.
Yeah, well, we've developed a very easy grouting system. Anybody who's done grouting, properly, it really is a professional job. But I've tried conventional grouting myself, and it's an absolute nightmare.
I've just got a whole house to clean now. All I can see is the
getting it right. So
the tiles, and she's a big
so
job.
I've developed a Tile Easy grouting system where we use a silicon grout, and you put a mask on it. Again, the little videos on the website, and it's so easy for a DIYer to use.
Yeah. So essentially the grout is in a strip, and it's on this little rolling mechanism. And
if I can, that's the other. I've got two systems, Belinda. One is that little strip grout that we haven't brought it on the market just yet. We're still tweaking it. The conventional way we're doing it is the silicon grout, where we apply the Tile Easy mask material, gun the grout in, ball it over, and then peel it off 6 hours later. So that would be the system most people would be using at this stage, right?
Yeah.
But no mess, no sponges, no water, no mess afterwards. It's so easy to do. Yeah,
fair enough. Sounds fantastic. All right. I feel like this is just the beginning for you. You're just really winding up, aren't you?
Oh, well, well, look, it's not without its critics. And again, I come back to because of the past history, Belinda, but, it's the unbelieving, Thomas, when people see those videos where I'm dropping doing impact testing and deflection testing. I've proved it before I've put it on the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm confident a person can get that tile, drop the hammer on it, and it will not break. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think once, you know, and we're slowly getting there. It's you know, and you know, I can't be more thankful to you for giving me that opportunity to speak to people that I think is the market. These DIY people who want to save $3,000 or $4,000 in labor, and they can do it themselves over a weekend. They can do it at night time. You know, they can take a month to do it. No big issues. They just
no big mess, no big
big
issues.
mess, and just keep doing it. So hopefully Tile Easy will be, you know, an alternative method for people to choose, for sure.
Yeah, brilliant. All right. So thank you very much for sharing Tile Easy with me and my listeners today. And
not a problem, Belinda.
It's just been nice. I know that we connected a long time ago, and you basically said, I've got this thing in mind. And I think you didn't even really, you had your domain name, but you didn't really even have your website up and running at that point.
Right. That's right.
Like, call me when you're a bit further along, and then
absolutely.
A couple of weeks ago you touched base.
And isn't it funny that we refer to during COVID or before COVID? Our parents used to refer to before the war or after the war.
Before the Depression.
we're now making reference to everything as before COVID, during COVID, or whatever the case may be. But look, we've come a long road since there, and we're manufacturing. So look, just before we finish, happy for any of your members that if they make contact with me directly, I'll give them a special deal.
Beautiful. Are you okay? So sales@tileeasy.com.au is
that's it.
The email address. Perfect. Sales@tileeasy.com.au.
Absolutely. All right.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Cel.
Thank you, Belinda.
Excellent. Have a beautiful day. Thanks.
Okay,
and
bye.
For those who are listening, don't forget to subscribe to Renovate and Real Estate, my YouTube channel, because we talk about product, but we talk to renovators who've just finished their own DIY projects, and we talk a lot about property and research and all the serious stuff, the numbers stuff, as well as the fluffing cushion stuff. So over to Renovate and Real Estate, my YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.